Tired of serving up the same old tasteless victuals to your family? Step up your grill game with new seasonings from Coy's Southern Eats. Based off famous Southern recipes, our seasonings will add what's been missing to your family's feast. Add it to steak, chicken, shrimp, you name it. Serving up these fixings is going to make you the hero at home. So head on over to coyssoutherneats.com and order yours today. Come get you some.
And everybody, welcome to a Hospital.net special. I am your host, Pattyson, and I have the esteemed honor of having Limbo Parks, former Razorback offensive lineman, join me, assistant coach with Lee Summit West Titans. Is that correct?
Lee Summit West Titans, yes, sir.
Excellent. And I want to thank John James for all of the photos that he has provided for us for all the games, all the intro there. Also want to thank Pixabay for the music and Coy's Southern Eats. Limbo, I don't know if you remember them or not, but Coy's used to have a steakhouse in Fayetteville and over in Hot Springs back in the day.
What? Oh, okay. What was the name of it?
It was called Coy's Steakhouse. That's all it was. Just
yes.
That's our sponsor, my man.
Yeah.
And they sell rubs. They sell I do believe also seasonings and dressing dry dressing packets. Also, you can buy online. Certain places in Central Arkansas and also on Amazon. Also, y'all just go check them out. Rediscover the nostalgia and the history of Coy's Southern Eats. Come get you some, my man. How you been?
It's been a good day. Chiefs won at least.
I was watching that game. I'm going to tell you, the first half was a little hard sledding for them at first, but I think getting Travis Kelce back in the mix a little bit and seeing Chris Jones finally came alive there at that sack against Trevor Lawrence. I think that might have been the missing pieces that team needed last week.
Well, we still got some offensive line problems, too, with the Chiefs. Just a little bit. They paid some high dollar for some guys that hold a lot and jump off sides an awful lot. I'll tell you that.
Oh, well, speaking of that, I think that as an Arkansas fan, you might know a little bit about that after watching that game last night.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, I mean, you look at it, Arkansas still outgained them total yards, 424
to 281.
281. Yeah, I mean, we should have won that game, but when you got 14 penalties for 125 yards, That's not good.
No, that is definitely not a recipe for success. Um, I got a chance to talk with you a little bit back last April, and that wasn't very, very long. It was just more of a passing by and working with Greg Thomas and the documentary with him, and talk a little bit about how special it was for you guys to get back together each year, being able to converse and kind of just not really talk about football, but just talk about life.
Well, from the last 2 years haven't been the most healthiest years of my life, what stuff that I've been dealing with. But and it was just a blessing just to come back. And it's not just football, it's friendships that you've made over those years up on the hill, and the practices, the games, and everything we went through together. We all went together, and just to come back and just had a camaraderie and just hang out and just, meet, guys, kids and stuff. It's just awesome.
It was really special too. You had Coach Hatfield, he joined you guys. And if I'm not mistaken, was this the 30-year anniversary or the 35-year anniversary?
What was it? It was 85 team. That was the 10-2 team that went to the Holiday Bowl. So what, I guess 30 or 40. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not a mathematician. Okay.
Oh God, don't say 40 because and I know I'm going to date myself when I say this, but I was born in 82. And
oh Lord. Wasn't even around. Wasn't even around when we won, when it was 10-2. So yeah, you wasn't even, wow. Yeah. But I guess this was like the 40th year or something like that. Yeah, it was 40 of that team. And I was somewhere and somebody ranked the top 10-2 teams, and they ranked that team, like 3 of them. They ranked that team like the worst of the top 3, and I kind of disagree with that very much so.
Yeah, so that defense that was on that 85 team, it was stacked at every level that you looked at. In the trenches, linebacker, the back end on the DBs, it was like there was not a weak link in that whole entire chain with you guys.
No, and people don't realize back in the 80s, the Southwest Conference was a running conference.
Yeah,
we did not allow a rushing touchdown through the entire Southwest Conference and through the bowl game. Okay, not a rushing touchdown. So when you can't run the ball, success of you winning the game is pretty high.
It is, and I think that the Razorback defense this year, and we were kind of talking about it at the first when we jumped on here, was that the defense is good. I mean, it's not a bad defense like the last few years that Razorback fans have come accustomed to. They're pretty shored up on the back end. The linebackers are active. They're fast. They are able to move from side to side and from hash to hash really, really well. The defensive line is stacked. Going against a defensive line like that as an offensive lineman, you would think that it really irons would sharpen irons, and I don't think that that's kind of the transition that we've seen so far with that offensive line that Sam Pittman has.
Like I said, how can I say it? I mean, as an old offensive lineman, I pride myself on getting a yard. Okay, I can care less if it's coming here. I'm able to get a yard, and I don't care where we are on the field. I don't believe in my whole career, if we needed a yard and they called my number, we got a yard. Okay. That was just everybody got stuffed.
Yeah.
Up there. And I was just like, wow, it still amazes me that guys just don't hunker down, put your mouthpiece in, the snap count, get off the ball and get your feet moving, Start being road graders. You know, I just don't understand.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that Sam Pittman is really scratching his head about too, is that, that's what he does. That's what he's known for. He's known, him and Cody Kennedy. I'm not going to say guru. I'm going to say a solid football coach that knows exactly what the hell he wants to tell his guys on everyone from center, guard, and tackle on both sides. He knows exactly what he needs to say to get through to these guys. And they may be taking that in, but it's not translating onto the field yet. I don't know if it's scheme with the offensive coordinator or just what, but you also have to have some time to gel too.
Well, you have to have some time to gel, but I mean, KJ can't be back there running for his life or having people in his face. I mean, you can't. Heck, you're in the shotgun. You can't take 3 steps back and somebody's in your face already. I mean, you gotta.
No.
I mean, you gotta move your feet. You gotta give them some time to get the ball downfield. I mean, the holding penalties at crucial times, and they were holding penalties. They were definitely holding penalties.
5 of them.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there was no doubt about it. I mean, I'm up here. I'm looking for a reason to say that wasn't a hold, but it was a hold.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that when you're holding, that means you're not moving your feet. You're not getting that lateral movement that you need to with the defensive ends. And Sam talked about it last night, where these guys were bull rushing. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If I was a defensive end and I was trying to bull rush and I was facing that guy, no, it ain't happening, Jack. It ain't happening at all.
Well, hey, and I guess it's a different era, but I mean, when I played there, we pride ourselves on running the ball and didn't care. I mean, heck, we ran the freaking wishbone, flex bone. I can remember, I think Grant Taft said something. He lets his coaches out early when we play Arkansas because we know exactly what they're going to do. Well, if you know what we're going to do and you still can't stop it, then what that say about you?
Exactly.
So in other words, we came off the ball. We come off the ball. And I see everybody's catching. They're catching. You're not knocking anybody off the ball. I mean, when Coach Pittman was at Georgia, his offensive line was huge.
Yeah.
They came off the ball and they were throwing people out the club. I just don't see that.
Yeah. I don't either. And that's one of the things that I've noticed too last night when I was watching from the press box a little bit and then also rewatching a couple of snippets from the game. I felt like that the offensive line, they were not beating their man to the point of attack. They were letting their guys fall into their chest and then hand fight with them after that. And you might have seen that a little differently than I did, but that's what I saw. And if that happens, you're not moving your feet. You're getting beat at the point of attack. And these guys they're able to go right past you. So the only thing you can do, unless you're going to get KJ knocked to the ground, knocked out of the game, is that you got to hold him at that point.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, if you're getting, if you're getting bull rush and then all of a sudden they do a move, and I mean, it was just up and down the line. I mean, I was expecting, because myself personally, the guys that they recruit now, they wouldn't have me. I wouldn't be on their top radar. So they're supposed to be bigger, faster, stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they're tougher. I'll say that.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what, though, man. If I saw this guy right here, I'm recruiting him. I'm making sure he's on my team because he's going to be on that 2D for sure. And he's probably going to sit there and fight your way to the starting position.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hope they get it worked out because Coach Pittman is such a wonderful guy. I mean, and I mean, golly, I wish I could play for him, because he's a great coach, and they just need to play a lot harder for him. You know, the man is doing everything right, and so I mean, it's a privilege for them to play for University of Arkansas, but to have a head coach like Sam Pittman it would be an honor for me.
That's what makes it tough too, because you look at Western Carolina. I felt like they kind of sleptwalked through that game and still put up a large number. And then I don't believe in, and you may tell me this differently, but I don't believe in hangovers, you know, from one win to another, because there's still 5 days of practice between the last game and the next game. So as far as hangovers go, no, because everybody's still focused. You have a coaching staff that still keeps you focused at the task at hand. And I wanted to see improvement from Kent State to BYU. There was vast improvement. There was a lot of effort improvement from Kent State to BYU. It leads me to say that there's going to be a lot more improvement from BYU to LSU, because now you're opening up SEC play, and that's a different animal in all itself.
Right. And, you know, we had our coaches meetings today, and of course I had a bunch of coaches that played at Missouri. So you know, I get razzed every, you know, I get, you know, talked bad about you every day. So, but now you're right as far as the improvement from, you know, and the level needs to step up. It needs to go, the effort, everything. I mean, you play in LSU, and really the Southeast Conference hadn't been playing there all that great, you know, considering the Georgias, the Alabamas, you know, they're supposed to be the dominants. You know, it's not like
SEC as a whole is down this year, I think.
Yeah. But what about us? We should be, you know, up in that upper echelon. You know, I mean, I think we gotten better than last year, but by the same token, you still have enough pride where you need to. LSU, you know, they'll try to bust the clock on us.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so I mean, it doesn't get any easier from here. Is what I guess I'm trying to say. So you're going to have to step the game up, you know, 100% this week.
So you look in the past at the times that Arkansas went to the SEC championship game. You look at 94. You look at 99, 2006. I'm sorry, not 99. Mississippi State ended up going because of a tiebreaker. You look at the 06 game. Whenever Arkansas goes to the SEC championship game, you can count on two things. Alabama and Ole Miss are down. Alabama is down this year. Ole Miss, maybe not so much. A&M, they might be a little bit of fool's gold. And they're Mississippi State, they just got drummed. LSU's pretty good, but still they have a quarterback that still has some question marks. And as a fan, you start to look at the history and say, okay, this is a year that Arkansas should be stepping up into that leadership role from the West that should be able to at least not make it, but contend for an SEC West title. And that's where fans are frustrated, because you have a returning quarterback. You have a returning running back. He's hurt, might be back next week. They got pieces. They're just not putting it together.
Right. A few years ago, you got a guy that came back quarterback who probably could have left last year because he wanted to play. So he's here to win. You know, he stayed here to win for the state of Arkansas and the university. And, you know, people just gotta give him what he needs around him. They gotta protect him better, you know, and let him do his thing. You know, I mean, he's a talent, you know, but you know, you can't not protect him. I mean, and that calls, to me, that's just prideful in the offensive line. You know, being an old lineman, I mean, you have to protect your quarterback. I mean, it's like when I played, I protected Greg with everything I could, you know. So I mean, he still protecting him.
Okay, so there's a question that I want to pose to you. Is like you were saying, you're an old offensive lineman. I gave you 10 minutes to go in the locker room with that offensive line. You don't have to tell it to me word for word, but what would be the message that you would send to those guys?
You know, me, for myself personally, and I'm still that way, I'm a passionate coach and I'm a passionate player because God didn't give me all the ability, but he gave me enough fight. You know, what fight song say? Fight, carry on with all your might. You know, and that's what I would do. I mean, you just gotta put the mouthpiece and you gotta buckle down and you gotta fight like Razorbacks. It means something. You know, you got a whole state behind you. You know, I mean, you can't get blowed off the line of scrimmage. One thing Arkansas is known for is running backs and running the ball. And them running backs don't run without the offensive line.
Yep.
And so you have to be able to just you know, just fight. You know, I mean, get out there and battle. You know, I mean, 1 yard, 4th and 1. I don't care if he's in the shotgun. I care less if he's in the shotgun. We're still going to get 1 yard. You know, you put him 12 yards back. I don't care. If it was 4th and 1, he had to punt it. We're still going to get 1 yard. You know, 1 yard is not going to stop us from getting a first down.
That's what a lot of fans have been really griping about here the last, I'd say, 18 hours. And really, if you want to think about it, going back to the Kent State game, is that this offensive line isn't getting that 1 yard, but they're not griping about just that 1 yard. They're griping about this whole scheme itself is, you know, lining up at the shotgun. And like you said, it doesn't matter if he's 5 yards, 2 yards, or 13 yards. They've got to be able to get they've got to get that push up front where they just out physical the guy across from them. And I don't know how else this coaching staff can pull that out of these guys.
Well, you heard Coach Pittman said we got whipped up front. He said that
2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah. I only heard, and I've only said that of myself one time, and I was in '86 against Texas Tech in Fayetteville when they came in and upset us in 1986, that I felt like we got dominated physically up front. It's the only time ever, you know, well, myself personally. But people might say the Orange Bowl that year, but I didn't. But I'll say that.
I don't know what you had going on down here, but we had a block party and I was kicking everybody out.
That's right. That's exactly right. So I mean, but that was the first time I ever that as a whole we all got whipped. Yeah. And that actually, you know, happened.
Man, I'm telling you, that's so I know that it's hard. Talk about it, swallow it, and especially in your position, being around a lot of Missouri coaches or guys from Missouri that are, I'm going to guess, they're going to be Missouri Tiger fans. I don't see any UCM fans running around there too much. I was stationed at Whiteman Air Force Base whenever I was in the Air Force, and so listening to the UCM folks was crazy because they were like, they would sit there and they start talking trash, and then you have Missouri folks going, really? You guys are a bunch of punks. Get out of here. It was always fun listening to that stuff.
Well, we have our former head coach, and he came back to help the new coach, Vinny Careswell. His son is plays for UCM. You know, he's a freshman there. We got a couple of kids. We got several kids that play for UCM down there. You know, that seems like that's all the kids we you know, that we get, you know, out. Arkansas don't come up and recruit our kids for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why, but that's okay. That's why it was on. That's why it's playing on TV yesterday. A bunch of them. But
I was going to say, because you guys were on TV, weren't you?
well, I'm saying like K-State, Phillip Brooks.
Yeah.
He's one of ours. They didn't recruit him, from K-State. Like Mario Goodrich that played with Philadelphia Eagles. He was one of ours. He's he wasn't recruited. I mean, back when, Evan Boehm, who played at Missouri, went on to play in the NFL, they didn't recruit him. There's a lot of players that I've coached that Arkansas never attempted to even come get. So I've kind of given up on that.
That's crazy because you guys are right up the road. Right up the road.
I'm not even sure if they've been to our school this year.
Wow.
So I'm not. I mean, I mean,
y'all got a squad too.
Huh?
Y'all got a squad too.
Yeah, we got some players. We got some. I mean, we got some players that they may not check the box of what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. But some of the players that they say check the box aren't checking the box.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday.
Yeah, so I mean, we just got good football players up there. So,
Yep. Everybody, I want to just give you a heads up here that we got Limbo Parks here, current coach at Lee Summit West Titans, former Razorback offensive lineman, and I love to say this. He is the best looking guy from Raytown High.
No, I said Raytown South.
Raytown South. Sorry, Raytown South. Oh.
So don't say that Raytown stuff. That get you punched out up here.
The best looking guy from Raytown South.
Oh.
Man, so what kind of a year are you guys having so far?
Well, it's going great. Right now we're 4-0, and a lot of people we're not surprised about it. I mean, the players worked real hard. We got a new coach, second year, Willie Horn. He's doing a great job. The kids are buying into what we're selling. I think last year wasn't so much. It needed. We kind of changed, went back to what we know we're capable of doing, and we got some great leadership on this team. I mean, we got some great kids, that are really stepping up, some senior leadership, and
nice.
Like I said, got some of them. I know some of them great academics, and they can come play, but nobody comes. Like I said, nobody comes to look at them. So,
man, that's got to be frustrating too, because if you guys keep pumping out kids, I mean, I was talking to Jamel Harris a few weeks ago. Yeah. And up until just the last couple of years, Arkansas hasn't been down in the lower Alabama area, Pinson, Gardendale, those areas. Now you're starting to see where some of these kids are choosing Arkansas, and they're starting to come around those areas. But I mean, when I was talking to Jamel, I mean, he's got a couple of guys that are in the league, right. And it's just one of those things where Alabama goes in there. They say, "Hey, we might offer this kid," and everybody just kind of backs off at that point. Or Missouri, or K-State for that matter.
Well, I mean, we really haven't sent anybody to Arkansas to play football on scholarship ever. Zero. And I've been coaching for 25 years. Not one. And is it frustrating?
Mind-blowing.
It's very frustrating, and I've let it. I mean, I just give up. I don't even say nothing anymore. So I don't even, say anything, So, because obviously, I guess they know what they're doing. So, but I just keep, whoever wants our kids, they're going to get them, and they're going to be good football players, and they're going to contribute. And I'll just say that's another miss. That's a miss. This is a miss, for them.
Yeah. That's hearing it. I used to be, so a little backstory on me, and I've I've talked a little bit about this with Dudley just a little bit ago. By trade, I'm a nurse. I work at an optical surgery center. Been a nurse for 10 years, and I'm crossing into sports media over the last 2.5. And as a fan on that side, you don't hear these types of stories. These are the stories that I want to help bring out too, because if it's something that is newsworthy, it has substance to it, I want to bring that out. This is one of those stories where you've got kids that are buying into the system. They're performing at the highest level that they can. And Power 5 schools are not looking at them.
Well, excuse me. No, I mean, it's like I said, it's real frustrating for me just to see. I mean, you could go look on my Twitter page, anybody can look at my Twitter page, and I repost what our players are putting out, their highlights. I mean, I'll let you be the judge of it. I don't, I send some out. I always repost our players' Twitters and let you decide who can play and who can't play. I mean, you can see, but nobody's come up there to check out our kids.
I mean, it's not like they're not putting the effort out too, because I mean, I'll follow you on social media too, and I see the pictures that you put out at 5 a.m. for practices. These kids are putting in the time and they're putting in the effort, and I mean, if you're putting the time and the effort in, you should be acknowledged at least. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, and we had like Shaq Harrison came back to a game. Shaq last year is a basketball player that played with the Lakers, but he was a football player. That's one of the first football games he's been back in years. I posted a picture of him on Facebook with me in the booth, and somebody wanted him to walk on in football. He was a wide receiver. His brother was the best athlete I've ever seen at West, and he's in Milwaukee Brewers organization, triple A right now, but he's been in the major. Monte Harrison. Arkansas never offered him. I think baseball might have, but not football. And
That's
he was,
crazy.
I mean, it's, I'm just saying. So.
Gotcha. Well, man, I'm going to get you out of here. I know that you're going to want to celebrate a Chiefs victory today.
Yeah, I'm trying to see me hate on them Cowboys. No, I'm kidding.
Come on. Oh, come on. You're killing me and Dudley. Oh,
I'll be, hey.
But here's the thing. I will say this. Okay, so we do have our household's a little odd. So I grew up watching the Cowboys because it was more of an indoctrination on TV, because if it wasn't the Cowboys, it was an infomercial. That was it. That was your 80s and 90s growing up. So you had really kind of only a couple of options, unless the Chiefs played opposite of the Cowboys in time slots, then you could watch the Chiefs after that. I'm going to tell you what, most of my adult life, I felt like more of a baseball player being a Cowboys fan, because I've dealt with so much adversity and so much loss, and so many times where you sit there and think, okay, we're going to win, and the whole entire season gets ripped out from underneath you. So the last couple of years, my wife has tried to push me over to the Viking side because she's from Minnesota. And I told her, I was like, well, whenever you guys can flip a Lombardi trophy, come let me know. So I've been slowly kind of formatting my opinion towards the Chiefs a lot differently than what they were, say, 10 years ago when I first started following them whenever I was at Whiteman Air Force Base. Because if you think about that's when Romeo Crennel was there, Alex Smith was having some great seasons. And then they opt to go for Andy, to bring in Andy Reid after that. And everybody was, it was funny because I listened one day to Mitch Holtis, and he lost his friggin' mind because you had such a great defensive mind in Romeo Crennel. Why do you get rid of him? Because the offense was perfect. It was doing its thing, and we were making the playoffs. But
that was That was the Scott Pioli era
Mm-hmm.
and the Todd Haley era, and that's a bad era. I mean, I don't know the Patriots way, but it's not the Kansas City Chiefs way.
No.
Kansas City Chiefs are like it's part of the community. You know, it's like Arkansas, the Razorbacks. The Chiefs are ours, and there are legends like Bobby Bells, the Derek Thomases that passed, anybody that played for them, the Derek Johnsons, the Priest Holmes, everybody, the Jamal Charles, they're ours. You know, and we treat them like that. And when Scott Pioli wouldn't let Bobby Bell come into the facilities,
that's not right.
That's not right. And I've been down to I've won 4 state championships, and that weekend before Thanksgiving, the Chiefs always let whoever's in the area practice in the indoor facilities.
Ooh.
So I was there. I've been to state 5 times, won 4. 3 of those times, how we went there, before those times we went, there's no problems, no big deal. When Scott Pioli was there, we went there. We sat on the bus for like probably 45 minutes before they would even open the door, and then it was like you had guards making sure we didn't touch anything or do anything. It was wild.
Crazy.
I was like, this is different from what it was before, you know. So I was like, I'm glad he got out of here. Let's just say, okay.
My gosh, that's some crazy stuff. Because you would think that if they're going to open the facility for you, you're going to respect it and treat it like it's not yours, it's somebody else's.
Exactly.
So
we've always done that. Everybody that we make sure everything's back where it belongs and everything else, because you know it's an honor for the kids. It's great for the kids to practice in an NFL facility.
Yeah,
you know it's
a huge thing for them. It's a cherry on top for the amount of work and effort and blood, sweat, and tears that they put into that.
Exactly. I mean, it's wonderful, and it's like we go like at 6 o'clock at night when they're done practicing. So yes. So it's a great thing, but when he was there, it didn't make us feel very welcome. Let's just say. Gotcha.
Well, I'm hoping that you guys are able to reach a state championship this year, and that'd be real nice. Everybody, make sure to follow Limbo and also the rest of Lee Summit West on their journey through the next. What do you guys have? 6 more weeks?
6 more weeks. Yep.
And then playoffs after that. So be sure to follow those guys and their journey to a state championship.
We hope. We just want a successful season right now. So.
Yeah. Well, as a Razorback fan that's out there, I'm thinking they're saying the same thing because they're a quarter of the way through the season and it's looking lumpy.
No, well, you know what? Coach Pittman's gonna get them right. I have faith in him. I mean, I could tell he was upset at the interview. I'm sure he's gonna right the ship. Trusting Coach Pittman and his staff, they're gonna get it right. Arkansas fans. Well,
do you have any last words for any of the audience out here at Hogsville.net, except for Greg Thomas that just texted me?
What Greg Thomas texted? What did he say?
Yeah, he actually said it was a good job. He said it was a good job. No, I love that guy to death. We'll be seeing him actually here in about 2 weeks. Going to be going down to Arlington, to Texas to go down to see him. We're doing a little bit of that documentary piece with him. And then, if I'm not mistaken, you guys are both coming up to Fayetteville in December.
We're coming up in December. We have a pretty dang good basketball team coming back. Okay, we got everybody coming back, and Coach Mike Schieber, we're playing in that Fayetteville tournament down in Fayetteville, and we got some top nationally ranked players on our team, and so do Greg, and hopefully we can, hopefully we can play them, and we can go ahead and do what we need to do to play in East.
So. That might get you a text message if he's still watching.
Probably, but let's hope. I mean, hopefully you come to that game, and if they
we'll be there. And myself and Demetrius will be there. for sure.
Well, and I give you another hint. Like our basketball team is pretty good too. Christian Bishop that played for Texas. That's one of ours.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Wow.
that's one of ours. I mean, yeah, we had one played at DePaul, your Nate. I mean, we got some pretty good kids that still have not gotten into basketball or football.
Man.
So
I'm gonna say I will say this though, Musselman, he's got a machine up here. That he's a different breed when it comes to that stuff too.
Yeah, he's kind of built differently when he's just yes, he is.
All right, well, Limbo man, I'm gonna get you out of here. You got to get some dinner, man. It's dinner time. I got some jambalaya waiting for me myself. So
you know what? It's my bedtime because I got to get up at 5 in the morning. Excuse me, I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Ooh, I got you.
Yep. So,
yeah, man. Well, sleep tight, my man.
All right,
and
take care.
If I don't see you before then, I'll see you in December for sure. And
right.
We'll see you guys. Thank you guys for jumping on for this Hogsville.net special. Just remember, next week we have Olin Buchanan from TexAgs.com. He'll be joining me for a Hogsville.net special. The weekend after that, that's Sunday going into the Ole Miss game, I've got Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South. He'll be joining me for a Hogsville.net special too as well. And Greg was our first guest. Limbo, you were our second guest. So
I gotta be second.
QB1's got to be one, man.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I sent you a picture of me and him on the board down there. I sent you a picture of me and him on the board down in the stadium. And good thing about it is I'm on the winning one. He's on the losing one.
Oh,
you see what I'm talking about? Both of us right there together. I sent you the picture. At least I'm on the one that we won the bowl game in.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I see GT there in the background.
Yeah, you see me on the no. There's a plaque down at the. I think I sent it to you. There's a plaque in the stadium. You see, just look on your thing and you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll catch that. I'll take a look at it. Oh, I just got it. Oh, hold on. I got to bring that up. Give me just 2 seconds. I have got to bring that up. Oh my gosh, he's gonna love this. He's gonna love this. Give me just 2 seconds here. I can pull that up real quick. Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, I wonder if we're gonna get oh man, we're gonna get a message about this one too, maybe.
That's okay. You know what? I got the better picture.
I'm gonna say, man, you look pretty snazzy in that red suit, man. I'm gonna tell you what. Well, because I put that on the Hogsville.net website. I cropped that with this background, and I put your picture on it too for kind of put some pub out there for it. And man, there it is. Okay, cool. Hold on, I gotta put this up here because I gotta do. I mean, you may be the second guest, but my man, I gotta treat you right. I gotta treat you right on this one. Where'd it go? Oh, it's not bringing up my images. Well, crud. Oh, this is terrible. Hold on. Oh, wait. I got it now. Give me 2 seconds here. Oh, hold on. I'm going to show you this one too real quick. What did you think about this whenever they ran into this? Hold on. Last weekend. Does that give you some chills?
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, I saw them put that out. They were actually ran that formation right before the delay of game penalty that KJ took that backed him up 5 yards that he had to kind of improvise and found Andrew Armstrong in the back of the end zone.
Right.
They actually lined up in that right before that happened, and I couldn't get a picture of it. But when they were on the opposite end of the field, I was like, oh no, I got to give me a picture of that because I can't remember the last time I saw Arkansas line up in a triple option like that.
I know, but to be honest, that's T formation.
T formation, yeah.
That's T formation.
All right, there it is.
Yep, that Holiday Bowl win. See, that Greg on the other one. See, so I got the better deal with that picture.
Oh man! All right, Limbo. Thank you again so much. I've had a joy just talking to you and just being able to just kick it with you for a little while. And thank you so much. Go get some rest, my man.
All right, hey, go Hogs, woo pig suey, everybody. We'll right to ship.
All right, everybody. Remember, next week, 4:45, I'll have Olin Buchanan from Texags to preview Arkansas and Texas A&M. And I'm your host, Jason Pattyson. And for Limbo Parks, thank you guys so much for jumping on with us today. And go Hogs.
Pig suey.